Good morning, nation. And here we go. See Marty Fit, Keith Bilous here. Mornings in the lab. Keith and Friends, Wednesday, July 17th. And we are bringing it in with how to not fail at starting a business. See Marty making the greatest Keith Bilous impression first thing in the morning in the lab. What's going on, Marty?
I love imitating you, man.
I know you do. We're hanging out this morning, our final day in the lab together. We got a guest coming up today, Marty. David Sauer, the CEO of Royal Restrooms. And Marty, he's waiting for us in the green room on the Royal Purple Throne, man.
Hey, man, I'm excited to talk to him.
And Nation, when I say the Royal Purple Throne at 8 o'clock here Eastern time, the number one morning show in the planet to help you get your day started, to help you start your day with accountability. The man sitting on the Royal Purple Throne. And gentlemen, yes, I am referring to the Royal Purple Throne you're thinking about, especially after your morning coffee, Marty.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
There you go. Good morning, Lotus Flower. Good morning to you this morning, Lotus. And good morning.
What's up, Lotus?
And good morning, Enzo. Glad to have you on the show.
What's up, Enzo?
Glad to have you on the show this morning as well. We got the future joining us here this morning. Enzo from New Zealand, always in the lab with us, and Keith's always frozen here, figuring out why his video is still frozen. I believe I know why the video is freezing. Running a couple streams here. I think my Mac might not be keeping up with it, but we'll figure it out. We'll keep figuring it out in the lab here. The most important thing is that we're here. We're hanging out with you guys, and we're having a great show today. So today the topics are, we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of failure while starting a low-cost business. And then, Marty, we're going to jump into, and David can hang around, or David can to go back to his regular business, but we're going to get into the 10 surprising benefits, Marty, of that morning workout that I know you know about, but Nation, Business Athlete Nation, might know about. Is that the English this morning, man?
You don't know how to talk today, man.
Marty walked into the lab this morning, and I started to spit out a few words, and they just came out backwards.
Yeah, I don't know what you were trying to say. Speaking Canadian.
That's it, speaking Canadian.
Speaking Canadian.
Speaking Canadian, Marty and myself did a little tour at Winnipeg yesterday afternoon, and Marty, observation from the See Marty Fit on the wonderful community of Winnipeg, Canada. Keep it plenty. Keep it polite.
Are you trying to set me up? I say this. It was very pleasant and not a lot of color. We'll say that. Wasn't too much color out there, so.
Oh my goodness!
But it was nice, man. Learn some history about Winnipeg.
That's it. Not a lot of color, but there's a lot of culture, Marty.
What culture? No, I'm playing.
There you go.
I'm playing.
I love it. There's Marty this morning when he gets the laughter coming out of the lab here, but
I got to make fun of everything.
Hey, if Marty's not making fun of things, then I don't know if Marty's doing his job. And this making fun of things, Nation, if you're looking for some laughter, 6:22 Eastern time, I would invite you to check out the Instagram feed of See Marty Fit. Why? Well, you might get some laughter brought into your life. You might have a little bit of humor. You might recognize that he's a mean fellow that's just not going to help you move forward in life. So I'd invite you to check out See Marty Fit on Instagram. He's always creating laughter. The guy's got a bigger heart than the whole continent of North America. Check out the content. It's going to bring you to laughter. Going to make some, going to create some light moments in your life. But I bring that up because Marty and myself were shooting some content over the last few days, and I know he's got a few things in the bank which are going to, I suspect, bring some humor to your life.
They definitely should.
Oh, yeah. There's some good stuff in the bank coming up there on Steve Martin's Instagram page. But Enzo, looking forward to seeing that business plan when you got it ready, my friend. And how are we? I'm good, man. I got to tell you, it's Wednesday, rest and recovery day. We've had incredibly productive days meeting, Mark.
Yo, yesterday, we got a lot done.
Got a lot done. We talked about this at dinner time yesterday. We were having dinner at 7 o'clock, 12 hours after our morning show. Nation, you have no excuse not to get anything done every single day.
Yeah, we got a lot done. And Maurice learned a lot too.
The OGG learned a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. We popped in to see AJ, our friend AJ Zeglin of Focus Fitness here, one of our original business athletes. Said hi to AJ and made our way to the Forks in Winnipeg. And then we came back and had a ton of meetings throughout the day as we continue building this morning show for you guys across the world. Again, we get up every single day with a purpose and a mission, to help you move forward, to help you get out of bed, to help you eliminate the alarm clock, the snooze clock. Actually, Marty, I hit the snooze this morning and I forgot. True story. Dude, I hit the snooze and then I frantically, panically woke. Marty, there's words. I'm thinking you're going to have to go into his sours because I simply just can't say the right words. But I panicked because I rolled over 38 minutes later than my snooze woke me up for. I was like, oh, I know. But I was fine.
What, man?
I was fine. Hey, I bring it up so I can relate to the rest. We're all not perfect.
No, you're right. I'm just messing with you.
We're all not perfect here because I know we always say to you guys, you got to get your ass out of bed and get moving. Well, sometimes
I hit snooze today too.
Oh, no! I got to get all the sound effects out for this one. Oh! I'm just creating unlimited sound bites right now. Marty just like, Nation, did you hear that? We recorded the moment.
I hit snooze.
Marty hit snooze. And we all know that we've captured this within 60 seconds, which is the ultimate short. So, Nation.
I'm on vacation.
Hey, I know Marty's on vacation. You know how I know Marty's on vacation? Because I saw what Marty was eating yesterday.
Yeah. Definitely vacation food. Well, actually dinner wasn't bad. It was the dessert.
Dessert was good, man. Yeah,
it was the dessert. That was bad.
How do we say that? Calorie stacking and big back and see Marty fit in the lab of the kitchen.
Definitely was calorie stacking yesterday.
That's how we do it here in the lab here. But good times. Great meal. Lovely Lauren. My girl Lauren did a wonderful job taking care of us. Thanks, baby girl. We had a nice steak dinner yesterday, wrapping up our conversation. Oh, Marty, we have somebody else in the lab. We got to get a sound effect for this lady here. I think we're going to give her this one this morning. Good morning, Sarvina.
Hey, Sarvina, what's up?
What's up, Sarvina?
What's up?
What's up this morning, Sarvina? I mean, let's get going on here. So, you know what, Marty? We did a poll yesterday. Oh, somebody laughed at my joke yesterday.
What joke? The corny one that I said was terrible?
You remember the poll, the Christian, the Jew, and that joke?
No. Hold up.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Hold on. What are we talking about? Because I missed this.
Remember the joke about the polls?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Seth Kuhn, the resident comedian of ours, said, Keith, I loved your joke about the polls yesterday. I was like, awesome. Remember the oh, yeah, you were half asleep on yesterday's show. That's why our show was so bad yesterday. You were half asleep.
No. No, I remember the joke. It was terrible. I told you it was terrible.
Okay, Uncle Keith's not putting out the joke today about the polls.
Yeah, that was awful, man. Like I said, I usually chuckle, but that wasn't chuckle worthy.
Seth Kuhn thought it was funny. My kids never think it's funny. Although Carter thought it was funny the first time I said it, and I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. No, if you're from Poland, you're a Pole. If you're from Russia, you're a Russian. If you're from Ukrainian, you're a Ukrainian. If you're from China, you're Chinese. If you're from Canada, you're Canadian. And I just lined them all up and I said, we are doing the polls today. Not the Christians, not the Jews, not the Russians or the Canadians. We're doing the polls today. We're talking about the polls. Marty, my joke is not landing anywhere right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to zoom past that one. Let's keep the show going.
Let's see if the numbers are going up during. Oh, the numbers are going up during that part, Marty. I got to keep the dialogue. So we're talking about the polls right now, Marty. Okay.
Mo, get your guy, Mo.
David's like, did I get into bed for this garbage? Yes, David Sauer, you got it. Hey, I was getting complaints that we had no energy in the lab yesterday, Marty. I'm like, what? No energy? We got lots of energy, man. We're bringing the energy every single day.
Who said that?
Maybe my own mirror. I don't know. I was like,
Oh, you said that.
It's just, hey, I'm our biggest critic. I was like, I think we could have brought more energy yesterday. So
you know what's crazy though? A lot of my content, like when I say they said,
yeah,
I said that.
Yes, exactly.
I said that.
That's exactly it. Hey, Marty, yesterday's poll, before we bring in David Sauer here in a few moments. David, I'm queuing you up to get ready, man, so I press the button and bring you in. But Marty, yesterday's poll, what's your main motivation for working out? We gave people 4 options.
I think I voted.
Number 1, brain boost and mental clarity. Number 2, want to be fitter. Want to be fitter. Number 3, you want to lose weight. Number 4, social interaction. And hey, how about number 5 for men? Men want to get action. So what's your main motivation for working out, Marty? So
you trying to get me going early, man.
That's it. The number 1 response from everybody was brain boost and mental clarity. That's why people work out. Number 3 was fitter and lose weight. Now I'm going to suspect, Marty Fit, that people have this is what I believe the reason is, but this is the real reason. They come to you and they're like, hey, Marty, I want to get stronger and faster. Even though deep down they're like, oh yeah, Marty, I want to get a 6-pack and I want to get shredded. But they don't want to tell you that because they're
not going to say that.
No.
You know, no, this is what kills me. They'll be like, yeah. I don't want to get too buff. I don't know why you think you're going to get too buff, but let's start with getting in the gym 3 days a week. Let's just start with that.
I will admit to you though, I will absolutely confess. There's been times in my life when I went to the gym when I told my trainer that, yeah, I want to get stronger, because I was feeling guilty about admitting the fact that I wanted to be shredded, because I was struggling with the acknowledgement of that aesthetic appeal.
Yeah.
Do you follow me? And I know you do, because a lot of people, not a lot, but people will come to you and say, Marty, I want to be strong. But what they're really saying is, I want to be jacked like you.
Yep.
And they don't recognize all the work and commitment that comes into being jacked like you. And then they're like, oh, that's what I got to do? Yeah, that's what I got to do. Yeah. So
absolutely.
50% came in with brain boost and mental clarity. And then the rest came in with want to be fit and want to lose weight. And then Marty, today's poll. Not Christian, Canadian. Today.
Yeah, get that out of there.
Sorry, Nation, last.
Strike 3, you're out.
Hey, you don't have the nope here and you're just disappointing OGG. Nope. There you go. Today's poll, Nation, linked to our conversation coming up in a few moments with David Sauer. What is your biggest business fear? 1, losing initial investment, putting all the cash into the bank and not getting any cash out of the business? Or is it lack of experience? Maybe you're battling imposter syndrome. Maybe you're like, oh man, I am scared because I don't know what to do. You're looking in the mirror going, I'm actually pretending what I'm not. Maybe it's fear of judgment. Maybe your biggest fear, Nation, when you're starting a business is fear of judgment. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. And then number 4 is pressures that follow success. Maybe you're considering that, when I make it, how am I going to handle all of this success? So there's today's poll. It's linked to our conversation. What's your biggest business fear? And today, of course, we're talking about how to overcome the fear of failure while starting a low-cost business. We're going to get Mr. Sauer lined up here. So Marty, David joined me a couple weeks back on Live in the Lab with Keith Bilous, and we had an awesome conversation. David runs a company called Royal Restrooms, and they are the ultimate, the epitome, the top of the class with the restroom. So you go to an event, you go to an outdoor facility, you go to an outdoor event, and you want to go use the facility. You know, I grew up with the outhouse. I grew up with the dirty old bathroom. Well, David made like the ultimate restroom experience. But what I like about it is that he started from nothing. And he's going to tell the story when he ended up in an event with his daughter, and he's like, what the heck is this all about? So the guy steps back and decides to start a business around portable restrooms, but not just any portable restroom. Right, so he's a branding specialist. He's got, he's all about purple. I think he's out purpled Prince. Right, and he's sitting on a purple throne right now, dude.
I saw that in the green room.
Like, that's exceptional.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I love it. I love the branding.
We should get matching purple thrones for you and me for the show.
Mine would probably be like lime green.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
that's my color. Yeah,
lime green.
Or red.
Now you can do. I'll do a purple one. We'll get. Maybe we can make them as like big thrones too, like David Sauer.
Yeah, I think we should.
Invite all of our male audience to relate to you and I just sitting on the throne doing the show.
Yeah. Start a trend. Dave started a trend.
The only morning show that starts from the crapper.
Yeah. Crap while you do the show.
Just the nonchalant. Yeah. Like it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah, just start a trend.
So if you, nation, are anywhere in North America right now and you are going to use the restroom, I would invite you to look for a Royal restroom. It's going to be the greatest restroom experience you have. And I was asking David on one of the shows, Marty, I'm like, hey, so you have like TVs and Wi-Fi in there? He's like, yeah, we did. We had to take them out because people were spending too much time in the can.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, right? It's like, I'm going to go hang out because listen, men, where's my camera? Men at home with wives and children, I know how coveted that. Hey, OGG, how big's the restroom? What, 4x6? What's that?
Hey, I'm thinking he's gonna come with the actual answer, like the actual measurements.
Husbands, fathers, you know what I'm getting at. There are times in your day that you look for a royal restroom like David's. You're like, all right, I got to go find the room in the house where I can go and be quiet to myself for a number of minutes or hours. And next thing you know, dad is gone. Dad's got his phone. Wi-Fi's jacked up in the house and he's mysteriously gone. And I'm thinking that there's fathers that go to these events, Marty, and they see David's royal restrooms and they're like, hey, honey, hey, kids, yeah? I got to go for a walk. I'm going to be gone for a little bit. And they sneak off to David's business and hang out in the facility for a while.
Hey, man, they needed some peace.
That's exactly it. Oh, yes, Lotus Flower. David makes luxury portables. So, and Lotus has been to a luxury restroom. And Lotus, of course, and we know Lotus, it is a royal restroom. And that's the only one we're talking about here this morning. It's the royal restroom one. So, but hey, Marty, without further ado, why don't we welcome this exceptional guest? No, not David Sauer. No, I'm kidding.
That's crazy, man. That's terrible.
Let's bring David to the screen here for us. David, I got, where are you there, my friend? Let's bring you up there. Oh, I don't know why you're black on the screen there, David. Let's try this here too. There he is. What's going on, David?
Good. How are you guys? Yeah, I tell you what, I felt like I wanted to interact quite a few times with that y'all's conversation and dialogue going back and forth. There was too many things not to step in and say, especially looking at Marty's face on a few of these things. It's like, I have to shake my head too.
What's up with this guy, man?
I know, right?
Yeah, where do we find this guy, man?
No one in Winnipeg, it's just too white.
All right. Well, now since Dave broke the ice, we're driving around, right? Keith is giving me the rundown. Oh yeah, this building is this. This is this. I see two black girls walking. I'm like, oh, those are the first two black people I saw the whole trip in 3 days. And he's like, no, they're out here. I'm like, I can't tell. So it was good to see some color. But hey, just a little bit, I just need a little bit. I don't need too much.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how to touch that one this morning here. But so especially when David walks into the lab saying, what did you say? Something like walking through it. I'm thinking, David, have you walked through stuff before in your job or what? But
I try to maneuver around it.
Marty, we have never had a guest with a better backdrop, man. And Nation, if you're watching right now, and I know you're tuning in because I can see a bunch of you, that is real. There's no green screen going on there. There's a dude in America right now sitting on a purple throne next to what are those things?
No, that's actually amazing.
Yeah, what's even better is if you can see this is actually a toilet here. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. I was going to be like, that's crazy.
Marty,
I'm looking at Marty's face like,
oh, man.
Yeah, I thought I was going to see a toilet seat flip up. I'm like, what is going on?
I think we need to get a toilet flusher sound effect here. I think we might have guest of the year with us right now.
Oh, yeah. A goat for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
A goat. One of the goats. Yeah.
I can already see the merch we're gonna make for this guest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like a purple goat, purple throne. You know, it's gonna it's gonna be.
Everything is purple. My house is purple. Everything is purple. Purple shoes, and I even got purple NJs on right now.
Dude, hey Marty, I
love it.
I saw a picture of his kids, purple.
Purple kids. Purple wife.
It's like, kids, we're building a business. We're heading to the lab. Oh yeah, what's up? I'm taking this dye with us because.
Oh man, look, check it out.
Oh my God, this is awesome, man. David,
Man, wow, this guy's really about purple.
He is, and I'm telling you, when I first met David, and this is why I knew he'd be a great guest today, Marty. The guy is a branding expert. I know when I met you, and you're all about less brunches, more crushes. I think you're a branding extraordinaire as well. David Sauer, man, next level. Like he's identified, because Marty, how do you sell a crapper? And I'm serious. Like and make it fun and inviting and comfortable and known everywhere and the word key, inviting. And he has. And it's so what I knew when we decided on a topic, I'm like, I get the perfect dude. Like how to overcome failure. So David, we've had a lot of fun this morning getting you into the lab. Let's get into it. So first of all, you introduce yourself. Who's David Sauer?
Well, David Sauers. I'm out of Savannah, Georgia, and we're in our 20th year of Royal Restrooms. We kind of pioneered the industry in mobile executive restrooms, and it all started just from a small need that was seen that I think was at the time just overlooked. Nobody really wanted to deal with the issue. They just accepted what was given, and that was the standard. And I tell you, it takes getting, for better or worse, I guess, kind of a golden shower to change that. And I wanted something nicer. I wanted some comfort. It's kind of a little sanctuary. Nobody wants to have anxiety about going to the restroom. It's one of their private pieces. It's something that's kind of personal. So why not make it exactly that, keep the sanctity going.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know whether I can create a hook out of that point, Marty, but starting a business because of a golden shower.
That was great. That was perfect.
That was the perfect soundbite. So there's a bunch of people. So Nation, if you're tuning in right now and I see a bunch of you, yeah, we're talking golden showers here in the lab this morning. So Jesus Murphy.
It sounds better than getting peed on.
Well, and getting peed on by your daughter, if I
right, and you're the one holding her above the toilet so that she won't get dirty.
Yeah. Yes.
I get it.
So let's get into the real meat of the conversation, David, and let's we'll keep it light and humorous, but at the same breath, let's get into the meat of it. So you're at an event with your daughter, as you explained to me, and you're like, she needs to use the restroom, and you talk, I don't want to get peed upon. Then you have a moment, David, a light goes on, and you're like, I want to solve this problem because there's other guys out here on the planet that have their daughters, their children out, going to a restroom, and they're experiencing the same thing I am. So you decided to start Royal Restrooms. I have to think, David, when you made that decision, you must have been terrified that it was going to flop. Maybe you were terrified that you had this imposter syndrome inside of you and you didn't know if you could do it. Maybe you were terrified of people judging you that you're starting a restroom business. David, let's talk about and tackle those fears that you had when you made the decision with yourself, with your wife, to start Royal Restrooms and go all in with this. Because I know it wasn't just, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this and it's all rainbows and gravy. There was a lot of fear along the way, David. Let's dig into that. Let's talk about understanding the fear of failure as you stepped into this moment in your life, David.
At the beginning, I don't think I had fear. I think I was kind of excited, but a lot of people around you, the surrounding people, really told you how terrible it was. What are you doing? Why would you do this? When you're starting something fresh and something totally new that is, I guess, changing the industry standard or just changing the general perception, people come out of the woodwork and just bash you for it. They try to tell you not to do it. They kind of turn against you. It's almost like they want to hold you back. And so that was a real motivation for both Robert and I, my business partner, for us to even, push harder ahead. But, overall failure, I wasn't so concerned. Of course, I didn't mean for the business to be as large as what it was. It was, I started out, kind of as a little side hustle, and we were going to do some events for, some low country boils, some weddings, some outdoor festivals, nothing on the grand scheme or stage that it is. I mean, I never envisioned that. I had a full-time job as a commercial banker, and the fear set in, I guess, when the bank said, you want to be in the porta potty business or you want to be a banker, because we're not going to have this kind of stigmatism associated with vice president here of a local bank. And so fear set in from that standpoint that this was going to be my only revenue source. And of course, it's the fear of failure, the fear of you've taken a leap. You want people to believe in you. And if something doesn't happen, I mean, it hits home. It hits your pride, it hits your ego. And, it makes you question who you are in general in your head. And, that can lead to a lot of depressing rabbit holes if you allow it to get to you. So fear at the beginning, no, it was more of a novelty. The fear didn't set in until I realized what road I was taking, what avenue that it was taking me down. And, the great thing about being an entrepreneur is, you're giving it your all. You're shooting out there. You're letting everything, your things out in the open. And it's not until you become a little successful till you start getting guarded again and you start getting scared, because now you have the fear of it being taken away. So it's kind of a cycle all in itself.
Marty, I'm going to throw it to you for the next question here. But David, I want to follow up with something you just said. David, why do you think when we start businesses, or when you decide to take the risk with your partner and your family to say we're going to start a business, why do you think so many people secretly wish, maybe that's the wrong word, but I do feel like it's part of the discussion of being an entrepreneur. Why do you think people wish that we fail?
I think that most people wish that we fail because they don't have the nerve to do it themselves. It's the same as if you got a group of guys that are all wanting to play football and they're trying to get everybody else to play football, and the one person doesn't, and everybody's telling them why they should do this or why they shouldn't do this. And they get on this bandwagon, and everybody's thinking about it from a collective standpoint instead of their own. And when people start to see people move ahead of them or in a different direction, it scares them because it disrupts that continuity of their life.
Yes. And I would agree with that. And I don't know if people overtly want us to fail as entrepreneurs, but I think you said it, David, right? It's that it's one's own inability to recognize their own fear. So they project it upon you going, well, I can't do it, so I don't want you to do it. Right. And,
I had a lot more friends when I worked for somebody else. My friend cycle is very small compared to where it once was. Entrepreneurs and business owners, they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are no real holidays. So it's not like, oh, we have a 3-day weekend, we're going to go hop off to the beach and stay 3 days. I can't do that.
Mhm.
My business actually works when there is holidays and special events and stuff like that. But my core friend group got smaller and smaller and smaller because I wasn't able to go to those functions. I wasn't able to do those things that we used to do. So, you know, I think a lot of times some people, they recognize that they don't want to lose that friendship, and it is nice to to enjoy those pleasures in life.
Mhm.
Of course, I get to do things now that a lot of my friends never could. I mean, I travel quite extensively, and I meet new people. I come on a great radio show like this in the morning with Keith and Marty, and so I get to do things different, a little differently than they do now, and maybe their life is maybe still the same as it was 20 years ago or 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and mine continuously changes.
Mhm. Well said, David, and I appreciate how tactful with the way you delivered it as well, because I think that there is that sense of competition, uncomfort. Oh, I want you to fail secretly, even they don't want to say it to your face, because maybe that friend or our friends recognize that, wow, if David makes it, David's going to be doing more things that I'm not doing. It's going to change our friendship. But David, I'm really glad you raised that, because I don't think it's a conversation that's had enough as entrepreneurs. It's I know that as I've been starting the lab here again, you're right. You shrink into an insular space where it's 18 hours, 20 hours, and less time here, less time there, and it becomes a very insular mission. You're on your own, and again, it's part of that failure, right? So, Marty, throw it over to you. Question for David.
I got so many questions, man, but we'll start with this. So when you made that shift from the bank to going full time with the business, don't you feel like that kind of had to happen for you to elevate in the business?
Yes, absolutely. And so many people, Marty, that's a great question. So many people struggle with that. Um, it's the security. They're worried about things being taken from them that they've already earned. It's that preserving what you already have. And so many people that start these side hustles or start new jobs, they want to do this. They want to do, but they don't want to risk anything to make that next step. And I was unfortunately forced into mine. I had to make the decision, or else I would have probably just floundered along and let it continually to grow on. But it's giving it all, putting everything in. It's throwing your eggs all in one basket, and it's you have to, it's fight or flight. You have to survive, and you want to make the difference. And by holding back and keeping that little bit of security and putting in 20 hours instead of 60 hours really makes a difference. And I think a lot of people they don't put all in. They give just enough to whereas it feels like they're putting it all in, but they're not really putting it all in because they don't have all their eggs in one basket yet.
No, definitely understand that. And then wanted to ask too, like how do you navigate the negativity, like the negative people? How do you navigate that? How do you cut them off? You block them out. You just I guess lessen the time you spend around them and converse with them.
Your time definitely lessons with them, but you learn to put on a smile, and you tell them, I'm not you. You're not me. You don't necessarily know what it's like to be in my shoes. You don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know what I'm feeling. I'm happy for your, for what you're doing, and I'm happy for where I'm at. And a lot of my pressure came from within my own family. My parents, like, what are you, crazy? Why would you do this? Like, why are you starting a bathroom company? Like, you wear a suit every day. Like, what is going on? And now you're out cleaning toilets and delivering toilets to all across the country. You've gone from a 9 to 5 job to, you're driving to Iowa City to set up a remodel at a Walmart. Like what's going on? And it was very frustrating. And my wife at the time, it was, that fear definitely set in. Am I gonna need to go back to work? Am I going to need to find another income? Are we going to have a house? Nothing is kind of guaranteed. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but at least you do have a sense of security with a regular 9-to-5 job that you've been repeatedly doing. You start to count on that check, and all of a sudden my check is, well, it's not what it was, and it ranges from week to week and month to month.
David, I can completely relate to that right now with you, frankly. Right. So, I know I've had my success in life, but life goes on, man. That success happened years ago. Now I'm starting out again. And I know what it's like not collecting a paycheck every 2 weeks, and that fear that goes into that. Right. And how to drive.
Yeah, I know too.
Yeah.
My advice on that is, if you make it once, you can make it again. I mean, I've gone up, I've gone down, gone up again, gone down again. You can make it back. And the great thing is you already have the tools and the wisdom because you've been through the lessons. And there are no harder fought lessons and learned lessons than just life and actually going through it. It doesn't matter how many times you're told something, it may not actually sink in until it happens. It's like touching the stove. The stove's hot, but mom tells you not to touch it. You still touch it to see just how hot it really is,
That's a great analogy, because we do have to. So it's funny, Marty, because we still do it as humans just to test how hot it is. I'm glad you said it, David, because we're all like, don't touch it. Okay, now I know how hot it is. I won't do it again. It's incredible because we do it as humans all the time. But David, you mentioned something in your conversation with Marty a few moments ago around a side hustle. And you made also a comment about your wife having some fear when you made the decision. David, was there a financial fear for you moving from a side hustle to the main or perhaps only source of income for you and your family? And talk about that fear of going, okay, side hustle, main income. There's people listening right now that are side hustle, side hustle, side hustle. How do I pivot to main income? David.
Well, a side hustle is something that you do on the side that you hope to get a little bit of extra pocket change to offset some cost and, down the road financially, have some form of asset. It's like a lot of people that buy real estate and they buy 1 or 2 rental houses, but all of a sudden they think they're a landlord and a property owner. No, you're really not. You just, you just own a couple pieces of property that will hopefully pay off. You really don't know
I know a few of those.
What it's truly like to own a mass amount of real estate. You own 1 or 2. And our business was not originally, when it started. Yeah, it was a little side hustle, but it was also to get you out of the house. It was, I've been married for almost, 10 years. It's things were kind of repetitious, and it's like, hey, you know what? I can get out of the house on a Friday night and break up watching, eating Domino's and watching the video from Blockbuster or something, like I can get out in the middle of the night and just, just do something, just kind of feel alive again, something a little bit different. It was excitement. But when you go from stability, two kids in private school, had a mortgage, car payments, you have all of that, and all of a sudden you go from all that's gone. You're living on what little bit of savings saved up, which, people don't really save anymore. And, you're living large, and all of a sudden it's gone. And man, it's like you have that initial fear of fright of, holy cow, I'm about to go belly up. I'm about to lose all this. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to borrow more money. I've got a plan in my head, and we're going to take this to the next level. If it costs me more time in getting where I want to be. It will, but we made a dent, we made an impact, and people liked what we had, and we were getting the positive reinforcements from our clients, and eventually we become the staple. That's keeping up with the Joneses. Anybody that rented our restroom, the next party, they had to have the same thing. And we did a good job with customer service. We did a good job with presentation. And again, it helps the fact that, people don't like using what was traditionally offered. They like what we had. They like being able to look at themselves in the mirror. They like the fact that it was climate controlled and 100-degree weather, that they went in and it was, nice and cool. They like wiping their butt with some nice toilet paper. All of those things make a huge difference. Mm-hmm. And so we were really blessed at the time when we came into the market. It was time for the change. We just didn't know it was.
Yeah, it's exceptional. That's exceptional, Marty.
No, definitely. I think being like a trendsetter is definitely a way to elevate your business. And I also wanted to throw in too, as you tell your story, I played at Savannah State for a year. I attended school there and played basketball there. So as you tell your story, I'm envisioning the streets and the town. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Go Tigers. I mean, we got our restrooms out there at the Tiger games now.
That was going to be my question. That literally was about to be my question.
Marty's going back to school to experience the restroom experience.
No, I got to go back now.
We should create content. We should create content of Marty walking to the Royal Throne.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Marty, I'll tell you, Savannah State, the campus is probably one of the most beautiful settings in America. It's absolutely beautiful back there with the marsh backdrop, and it's a beautiful campus.
So David,
definitely.
As you were getting started, let's get into some of the practical strategies that you have used and maybe people you've worked with to overcome the fear of getting started. Are you a fan of the minimal viable product? Are you a fan of the minimal viable customer? Obviously, when you're starting a restroom business, the minimum viable product is we need to have a good working restroom and a clean, exceptionally clean environment. But talk about, the practical strategy of just getting started. Was it small, scaling up, support network, realistic goals and milestones? Lean into that a little bit for us, David.
Our model is more minimalist. We start small, we allow you to grow, because a lot of our, it's not like a brick and mortar where we open a store and it's like a flood of people. Most of our clientele, they're renting 6 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, even up to 2 years down the road, because they're planning festivals, events, weddings. All of these things just aren't happening like the next day. Of course, we do get immediate responses when there's a water main break or something. Somebody needs something for emergency services type service. If a Walmart, they can't stay open under OSHA unless they have a functioning restroom. So, but the majority of our business is long term. So when we start out, we start you small, and we primarily focus on the events, which the event industry, wedding industry, that sort of thing, which that's usually 3 to 4, 6 months out. And at that time, we grow small by the trailers based on what is getting the most attention. What are we getting the most requests for? What are we looking for? Our business starts out with a few trailers, and our franchise fee, you're somewhere in that $150,000 to $175,000 range as an initial investment.
Okay.
Within 2 years, the bulk of our operators are close to $400,000 to $500,000, in trailer debt, because every time you buy a trailer, it's like buying a new car. but revenue scales up, business scales up. So it's not, you don't have that capital, so it's not so capital intensive up front that you can't continue to grow to the scale that you want to be at. And, milestones, we have more revenue milestones. We want you to earn 150 this year, 250 next year, 500,000, by year 3 or 4. And, we take it from there. And if you're not growing at that pace, we have to revisit, because every model in every city is a little bit different. And, from competition to your mom and pops to also the main thing is how much is the owner truly investing him or herself in the business. We want somebody that's community involved. We want somebody that's owner operated. We want somebody that is going to build a legacy, somebody that is going to wear purple on their sleeve. So we're not very aggressive in trying to find people. Usually our operators find us, and then we take that process from there. It's kind of like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Whoever's bothering us, we start to pay a little more attention to them.
Yeah. Hanging out with David Sowers, CEO of Royal Restrooms, joining us from Savannah, Georgia, myself and Steve Marty Fit. And Marty, I missed a segment this morning on the show because I was too busy making jokes about the poll. So I just got some heck from Jimmy. So at this point in the show, I'm going to take David off stage, Marty off stage, and I'm going to do this. Oh! You ever feel like that you got that knot in your stomach? And no, I'm not talking about the knot in your stomach that drives you to David's restroom. I'm not talking about the knot in your stomach that's saying, Keith, you got to go to the crapper. No, not that knot. We're not talking about that knot. Hey, I don't eat peanut butter anymore, so I've eliminated that problem. Marty's like, what? Have you ever felt that you have a knot in your stomach? The one that just before you leap into the unknown, the voice whispering, going, oh my God, what if you fail? That knot, that anxiety, that stress. I'll tell you something, nation. I experience it. Marty experiences it. David Sowers experiences it. We all experience it. But what if you actually succeed because you're jumping in? Or worse, what if that fear is going to hold you back from even moving forward? What if David never tried to start Royal Restrooms? What if he still stayed a commercial banker? What if you never try? Well, here's what I know. We all have a choice between two extremes when we're starting out an adventure. And it's quite simple, frankly. You're either going to fail or you're going to have regret. And I'll be honest with you, and I talk about this, Marty, all the time. For me, regret is the heavier burden. Yeah, failure sucks. But frankly, failure, feedback, it's the best way to grow as a human. And at least it leaves you with those lessons learned and stories to share. But when you don't even try, nation, when you don't even get your ass out of the throne to try, I can guarantee you're going to regret that one day. I'm sitting here listening to David Sowers, our CEO of Royal Restrooms, thinking if he didn't try, he's going to live that whole day of regret. His kids are growing up, going to other restrooms around North America going, why didn't I start Royal Restrooms? So I'm going to invite you, Business Athlete Nation. What if I had instead of what if I hadn't? Now that's something to fear. The fear of taking that chance and failing miserably if you must. But I'm going to tell you, nation, I'm going to invite you to this. Don't let that full life slip you by. Don't live a life of regret, wondering, fear of failure. Take the step. If you fail, you gain the feedback. You put that one foot in front of the other and you try it again. That is Marty Fit. That's our accountability check-in today, my friend. The moment on the show where we have a little bit of laughter with our friends and our guests and bringing us back up here. And if you have a knot in your stomach, go find one of David's Royal Restrooms.
Right. I'm here to collect it all.
We're here hanging out with David Sowers, the CEO of Royal Restrooms. For sure, one of the all-time goats on the morning show as we keep doing this morning show. Listen, nation, we are the morning show of helping you start your day, the morning show of accountability, the morning show of positivity, the morning show that moves you forward as you start your day. We go live Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're kicking off today's conversation with David Sowers, CEO of Royal Restrooms. We're talking about what's the fear of failure if you're starting a business, because I know you're tuning in right now going, I want to start a business, but I'm scared of starting. Marty.
I also meant to ask you too, where are the bulk of your clients? Are they? I heard you say something about Iowa. You know, are you like, you know, East Coast? Are you going to the West Coast? Are you coming up to Canada?
Oddly enough, we just got a franchise request yesterday from Albuquerque. I mean, not Albuquerque, Quebec. We're just now opening an office in Albuquerque, New Mexico. No, the bulk of our offices are in the southeast of the U.S. We've got, but then the West Coast. So we're from Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Texas. Then it goes over to Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And in Ohio, Marietta, Ohio just opened last month.
Man, that's big time.
This is big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And moving up to Canada, where the freezing happens a little colder than what's happening in Savannah, Georgia. So it'll be interesting to see how Quebec handles the Royal Restrooms experience.
We need to be up there. We've done a lot of events, a lot of Red Bull shows up there. We worked with the Canadian military on a lot of different exercises up there. We worked on the train systems, followed the whole train route from East Coast to West Coast when they upgraded everything. So we've done quite a bit of business in Canada, so we're not unfamiliar with it.
Yeah.
Working in a lot of the migrant organizations as well.
David, do you think that's when people are starting a business that there's subconsciously maybe fear of being successful instead of fear of failure? And I know it sounds goofy because people are like, well, no, I'm going to become a millionaire. Why am I scared of that? But do you think that sometimes people, maybe entrepreneurs, have that fear of my life changing and everything changing and everything substantially changing? And I know you touched upon a little bit where friend circles change and your abilities to do things change, but I want to talk about the contrarian side of this fear. Is it really fear, David, do you think, of failure? Or is it sometimes, do you think it's fear of maybe the inevitable success that we as entrepreneurs believe is going to happen? Touch upon that, David.
I mean, yes, I think that a lot of people actually start a business because they want that success. They want to be recognized. They want to be there. But I think from a truer sense, somebody who's really business oriented, business focused, that fear of success is overwhelming to them at times. You're talking about that knot in your stomach. You know, what if this is bigger than what I can actually do? What if it does succeed and it becomes this huge success? I mean, you see it all the time. And I mean, especially nowadays on these TikTok and YouTube things, these kids, my son is just addicted to watching YouTube videos and it drives me crazy. But watching, some of these people that started out in a one-bedroom apartment, now they're living in a $25 million house, from 6 years ago, how much success they've had. It's, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you see the wife is, had a lot of work. The man's obviously all of a sudden now got a six-pack. Success changes that, your image, I guess the ego changes, and that certainly is a fear, because you don't want to lose who the person was that thought of this, that came up, that really started this. You still want to be true to yourself. And I think the fear of not being who you are is very scary.
That's the very vulnerable answer, David. And I thank you for sharing that, because you've gone through it. And how have you navigated that? How have you navigated your children, your wife, your friends, recognizing that things are changing? You are able to do things you weren't able to do yesterday. How have you as an entrepreneur navigated that experience? And what advice would you give somebody to David who's maybe having some of those thoughts but are struggling to pull that trigger?
Well, one thing, with as much credit as you want to give yourself for doing these things, you did not do it alone. You had people that helped you get to where you are. You had people build you up. You had people push your product. You had people that believed in your idea. And I would not be anywhere where I'm at without a supportive family, without very good employees, and very good entrepreneurs around me. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Surround yourself with those smarter than you, and that cannot be any more correct. I mean, you need to be around people that continue to push you, that drive you to be better. But at times it does go to your head, but you need to be humbled, and you need to bring yourself back down. Like Marty said, people like, I don't want to be too buff. If I went and really worked out, I mean, I would look crazy good. So, I can't do that. I have to keep some ugliness here, and it's just, I mean, could you imagine me with guns and ripped abs? I mean, I'd be like,
I can see it, man. I can see it.
Actually,
I can actually see it, man.
it would be next level. Like, we would have the ultimate purple restroom entrepreneur, jacked, buff. He'd make Dan Bilzerian look like he's just like a mini me or something. Like, we could create David Sowers. We can make him like the epitome of the business athlete. Welcome
You
in.
got the beard. You got the beard too, man. It would look good, man.
Sowers would be rocking, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you'd be the ultimate business athlete, baby.
especially if it was that old fight, as red as it used to be. I mean, I'd be like just a leprechaun, Spitfire. I mean, just fire in the hole.
That's awesome. And David, we have one of our regular guests joining us from this morning from the future. His name is Enzo, and he says to you that you could be the Purple Hulk, man.
The Purple Hulk.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. The Purple Hulk joining us from Savannah, Georgia.
If I start throwing dung, people are gonna run.
And if it's purple dung, it's going to be even worse. Michael Hoodlow, one of our we got Michael. Good morning, Michael. Good to see you, man. It's been a while.
What's up, Mike?
We haven't seen a lab in a few weeks. Michael joins us from Florida, just down the road from you, David Sowers. He's also an entrepreneur. He's done some few things in the CRM space. But you're right, Michael. The fear of the unknown costs and failure eclipses fear of success. I think that there's certainly something to be said for that, which is if you don't know what's happening, there's a lot of fear that comes along with that. So I appreciate your comments joining us this morning, Mr. Hoodlow. David, I want to be absolutely respectful of your time. You've been joining myself and Marty for the hour here, and I want to get you on with your day here as we approach the 9 o'clock Eastern time hour. David, as we're wrapping up, what comments, advice, we've been talking today about the fear of failure. Is there anything that I haven't asked or Marty hasn't asked that you want to make sure that Business Athlete Nation, LinkedIn Nation, Threads Nation, the United States and Canada, the world knows about? Get going, stop going. Let's just kind of wrap up our conversation around that fear of failure of starting a business, David.
Believe in yourself. I mean, that's your parents believed in you. I think overcoming that fear of just believing in yourself and that you can do it. And when you believe in yourself, other people will believe in you as well. And that's what you have to do. If you show fear, if you show that weakness, then it will consume you. And
Yes.
you have to just believe in yourself and push forward. Otherwise, just pack it in the corner. If you're not going to go all the way in, then don't do it. If you're going into a fight and you feel like this guy's going to knock you out, you're going to probably get knocked out. and so it's give it all or none. I mean, if you show that weakness, you're going to have that weakness.
Yeah, absolutely. Marty, you want to wrap up the last few words with David Sowers this morning?
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, David. I definitely learned a lot. Definitely motivated me a little bit too, and it was good taking a trip down memory lane. Imagining some stuff happening in Savannah. So appreciate you.
Well, certainly, I appreciate it, Marty and Keith, and thanks for having me on, guys. And I hope to join y'all again soon. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we want to have you back, David. I have had a lot of fun with you as well. I knew when we invited you in this morning that we would have a great conversation. I love your personality. I think you're a fun human. I really legitimately love the business that you're in. I think I know you and I talked on Live in the Lab there a few weeks back that it's these untapped businesses, Marty, that we don't think about that when you get into them, you're like, oh my God, duh. And you brand it, you market it, you wrap your arms around it. And like you said, David, you go all in. Success happens, right? So whether you're selling chocolate bars or selling restroom business, you got to go all in. So, David, final word to you, my friend, before we say goodbye. David Sowers, CEO of Royal Restrooms. Final word to you, pal.
Well, thank you. Again, I appreciate y'all allowing me on. I wanted to say one more thing to Marty real quick. We get more bathroom selfies, I think, than anybody from a portable restroom standpoint. I mean, you can stand there and look at yourself and catch a good vibe. And it's so funny to watch us get tagged in so many different online social media, I guess, venues. But anyways, thanks for allowing me on. And, our website's royalrestrooms.com, and you can email us at info@royalrestrooms.com.
Awesome. Royalrestrooms.com. Go find David Sowers. If you have an event coming up this week, this summer, I know there's a lot of heat going through North America right now, Marty. There's heat everywhere. You want to go find a space for a quiet moment without your family or without your kids, or you're like, I got to go and cool off. Go find one of David's cool Royal Restrooms at that next event. I know we talked about some of those, I think, Dave, those Silver Streams trailers you've got created that up the experience. So if you're at an event and you see the Silver Stream trailer, it looks like it's a place you can go sleep in. No, it's a place you can go and have a private moment and get rid of that knot in your gut. So, and if you're looking for an awesome business opportunity, I also know that Sowers is in the business of selling franchises. So if you're looking for a business, I'd invite you to not only use David's experience to get the knot out of your stomach, but go talk to David about maybe starting a side hustle or starting a brand new business with Royal Restrooms. So, David Sowers, you are welcome here anytime in the lab. You come back, bring your coffee, and come co-host some shows with us, man. We'll have some fun together next time. Just next time, because it was no fun today.
I would love to. That would be great. Thank you. Like I said, really appreciate it. It was great to see you and Marty.
Awesome. David Sowers, thanks for joining us, my friend. We're going to walk out of the lab and we'll see you a little later. Okay, pal? Right. That was David Sowers joining us here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and C. Marty Fit. Marty, that was awesome, man. David's a goat, dude.
That was good, man.
David's an absolute goat here. CEO of Royal Restrooms joining us, talking about what happens in this whole idea of failing a business. And if you're scared of failure in business, how to overcome the fear of failure while starting a business. And David stepped out of the commercial banking business, Marty, and said, I'm going to start a restroom, a crapper business. And he has successfully, ventured out of that and built himself a really wonderful business that when he had a lot of naysayers saying, no, you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. He's like, no, I'm going to do it. So, and we know, Marty, there's a lot of people listening right now going, I want to start a business. I want to start a side hustle, and they're scared. So we've spent the last 35 minutes talking with David Sowers around that fear of starting a business. But I got a question for you. How did it feel? It must have been pretty cool reflecting with David around your experience in Savannah and going there to play ball, and paint a picture for me of Savannah, Georgia, Marty.
Me being from the DC area, it's a small town to me.
Yeah.
But hot weather. You got the downtown area where all the restaurants are. It's on the water. You got the Tybee Island. It's like the beach type. Tybee Beach, Tybee Island, whatever it's called. But you got the beach, about 30 minutes away. Then you go to Savannah State. That's a little different. That's like a smaller black neighborhood, but it's pretty diverse down there. So yeah. It's pretty. I miss it kind of.
Is that right? Yeah. I get a sense it's magic. To me, I would think the word to me comes from magical.
Why you say magical?
I don't know, because when I think of Savannah, I think of a magical place. Like I think of Peachland. I think of I think of sun. I think of lush greenery. I think of just this place that I can only imagine in my head. That's just a warm, inviting place in Southern America.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right, so wrap up our chat with Marty this morning. It's after the 8 o'clock hour with Keith and C. Marty Fit. Mornings in the lab. We go every single day, Monday to Friday. Our goal here is to help you guys get your day started with morning accountability, content that moves you forward in life, and so forth. And we're going to pivot our conversation into the next part of the show, which is 10 surprising benefits, Marty, of morning workouts that I'm thinking Business Athlete Nation might know about. There's Bilous' English again. But
Canadian.
That's the Canadian part, yeah. So, Marty, do you think morning workouts are just the way to stay fit? I know we both don't think so.
No, it's a little more than that.
There is, yeah. So we think more than that. Discover 10 surprising benefits in this segment that you never knew about, and why getting up early, Nation. Getting up early might be the best decision you ever made as you start your day. In the 10 surprising benefits of morning workouts here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and C. Marty Fit. So, Marty, number one, emotional and mental benefits. Enhanced mental alertness, Marty, starting your day off in the gym. Let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about on this show, the mental clarity that working out brings. So if you're going to start your day with that positivity, just think about how you'll feel going into work. So that project that's stressing you out, maybe you'll have a more positive outlook on it. Maybe it won't stress you out as much. Your wife or your kids stressing you out, maybe you'll be less irritable, a little bit nicer to them because your body feels great. You got the mental clarity. So it's definitely a great way to start your day.
Absolutely. And I can assure you, Nation, when you start your day, you're going to have enhanced mental alertness. You're going to boost those brain functions. You're going to have a better mood, frankly. You're going to have a better mood, and you're going to reduce your stress. Why, Marty? Because they're going to trigger the release of endorphins. Like that's the science behind it, right? So if you're sitting here and you're starting your morning right now and you're wondering what your day is looking like, I know Marty can't encourage you enough. At the very least, just go for a walk. Think about the day. Create awareness. It's going to trigger that release of endorphins. It's going to reduce some symptoms of depression and anxiety. And I invite you to consider starting your day with that lift, that walk, that stretch, because it's going to help. Number two, 10 surprising, maybe not surprising, but Marty, this is an obvious one, right? But the physical health benefits. How about the improved sleep quality? Deeper, longer sleep cycles, regulating the circadian rhythm.
Absolutely. And you also get that REM sleep, REM sleep. Mm-hmm. And when you're putting junk in your body, you're not moving, you're not burning calories, it's going to be hard to get that great sleep. So working out definitely improves your sleep quality. And you want to perform great, you got to sleep great.
That's exactly it. And then if the Nation, you keep starting your day with that morning workout, you're going to boost that metabolism. You're going to kickstart the metabolism for the day. Could you imagine, Marty, starting your day at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning after already trained, your endorphins are in check, your anxiety's out the window, and your metabolism's raring up. So your day is going, you're walking into your meeting, you're like, yeah, I got some calories in the bank that I've worked off already. My endorphins are going, and I have my metabolism flying. That is the power of that morning workout, Marty Fit.
Absolutely.
Right? So, and then what happens, and you've talked about it all the time, strength training, that body, what does it continue to do? It continues to burn calories throughout the day after the workout. So you're sitting in your meeting, that you're stressed about for your presentation. After you've done a wonderful lift, and what are you doing? You're burning calories. Exactly, right? So
not stacking them.
Not stacking them. Exactly. Number three is, in some of these, the benefits of consistency and overall well-being. If you wake up every single day and start your day with a lift, start your day with a walk, start your day with a stretch, whatever that is, you're going to have a higher chance of greater consistency and habit formation. I know it's obvious, Marty, but we're building a business on the fact that people buy systems, but they don't implement them, because the hardest thing to do is what? Be consistent and form a habit.
That's right.
Right? It's the hardest thing to do. So,
actually, it's not the hardest to do.
Talk about it.
We have habits. We just got bad habits. So I think if you rephrase it to building good habits, is hard to do. That's difficult to do. But if you think about it, most of us have some bad habits, and we've been doing them for years. A lot of us probably been doing it our whole lives. So
I like that because you're right. Because we all do have habits,
including myself.
Yes, and including myself too. And I like what you said because you're right. It's consistently trying to create the good habits, the good habit formation, right? So again, I know we're big believers in the lab. You start your day in the gym, the metaphor for just taking care of yourself, whether that's mentally, emotionally, physically. But when you do that, you're going to absolutely, without unequivocally, you're going to create those positive good habits. You're also already going to enhance that appetite control. You're going to regulate those hunger hormones. You're going to reduce the likelihood of overeating because you got that consistent pattern happening. Hey, Marty, it's going to be like, okay, I've trained, got my metabolism going, my body's firing, and it's going to enhance with my appetite control, as well as increasing those energy levels. Talk about the energy you have after a morning lift or a morning training session, Marty.
Oh, definitely. I feel unstoppable, especially if I got my coffee. Give me a little boost of caffeine too. But no, that it's scientifically proven that it's gonna boost your energy. And a lot of times we feel sluggish, after an hour at work, after 2 hours at work. But when you're in the habit of working out, especially when you're eating clean and putting those fueling foods in your system, it's definitely going to boost your energy and get you more prepared for those meetings or whatever you have to tackle for the day.
This is an obvious one because you build a business around this training, folks. People are coming to you saying, Marty, I want to lose weight. You get that morning session in, you're going to enhance your fat loss.
I'll say this too.
Yeah.
You wanted to add something before I didn't mean to cut you off.
Because you're going to burn more fat when working out on an empty stomach.
Absolutely. And one thing I've noticed too, just being honest, I don't know if any of my clients or former clients are watching this, but my morning clients tend to get more results than the evening crew. And that's part of the reason why I cut off evening sessions. But that's another conversation for another day.
Oh.
But the people who get up in the morning and prioritize their workout, they tend to have their ish together, right? They tend to, when they prioritize the workout, they put in other things in order and get in other areas of their lives in order as well. So those tend to be the people who get the best results and the most results.
I'm really glad you leaned on that because to me that's the most obvious thing about being a business athlete. I know that we give everybody I'll use the word, the permission or the thought process to at least take care of yourself sometime throughout the day. But I'm adamant, and I know you are. You need to start your day in the gym. And again, I use the metaphor of the gym, whether that's going for a walk, whether it's doing yoga, whether it's doing a lift. But starting your day taking care of yourself is going to help you take care of yourself on your last moments of the deathbed, because you're not going to sit back there going, oh, I wish I didn't miss that meeting because I missed my training session. Nah, go take care of yourself first. Go take care of yourself first. You take care of yourself first and nothing happens for the rest of the day. Nothing else matters, Marty. Yesterday we had our morning show where you and I went and trained, had an awesome training session here in the lab. And then I looked and you're like, hey man, if we did nothing for the rest of the day, how good do we feel right now?
Yep.
Right, we did a big compound movement, or we worked our whole body, big back lifts. We did a morning show, and I was like, okay, I feel good right now. My blood sugar's under control. My cardiovascular health is great. And it was 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And not to be disrespectful to the rest of the day, but I actually didn't care about the rest of the day, Marty, because I was taking care of myself first. It's a mindset.
And we were just productive, just nonstop. And next thing you look, the day's over.
It's exactly it.
And we got a lot done.
That's the power of the morning workout. Mm-hmm. Right? Get your ass in the gym, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, get it done, and you have a full day ahead of you to do it again. Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Listen, so we're going to continue our conversation around the surprising benefits of starting your day in the gym, starting your day with training, and wrapping it up. We talked about fat loss. We talked about better blood sugar control, starting your day in the gym. Another thing, Marty, and then starting your day training and then eating properly, in my experience anyways, I think it's going to help you without chasing carbs through the rest of the day. Because I think too often people start their day with a high sugar, high carb diet. And then what happens the rest of the day, Marty? They're chasing them, right? They go to the conference in the morning, they have the coffee, they have the croissant, they have the donut, they have something that's loaded in complex carbohydrates. And then what happens an hour later? Insulin bombs, their energy levels go low, and it's just a repeated cycle.
Now you're yelling and cussing everyone out.
It's true, right? So if anyways, you're going to a conference, at least maybe start your day in the gym. Maybe start your day getting those calories, calories reduced before you're going to stack them and big back them.
Absolutely.
Right. So Nation, so wrapping up the conversation around the 10 surprising benefits. And you know what? If you're tuning into the show, these probably aren't surprising benefits. But if you're new to thinking about being a business athlete, or you aspire to be a business athlete, these are the things you want to think about. Right? Enhanced mental alertness, better mood reducing stress, right? Improving that sleep quality, boosting metabolism, and so forth. So I would encourage you. I'm not sure why I got bad echo here right now. You hear that? No, I got echo here.
Yeah, no echo here. I'm good.
Good. I would invite you, if you don't have a morning routine, consider the power of a morning routine to start your day. If you're training at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, try a morning routine. I guarantee you, I know Mark guarantees you, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life.
No, absolutely. And a lot of people will avoid the morning workout because they're not morning people, which is understandable. It's not easy for anybody to get up in the morning. Even the people who say they're morning people, it's not easy for them to get up. But, Keith just listed the benefits, and it's going to change your life for the better. So I strongly advise you to get that morning workout in opposed to going in the afternoon or after work.
There you go. There you go. So those are 10 surprising benefits to get your workout started as we work towards wrapping up the show. But we're not done, Nation. We know you have that one piece of golden nugget coming at you. It's the C Marty Fit Tip to get your day moving. So again, we're inviting you, if you're thinking about going to the gym, maybe you're going to go to the gym today, but tomorrow you're going to move your gym workout to the morning as we pivot to the C Marty Fit Tip of the day. Marty, you ready to rock and roll, my friend?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. We got the fit tip for the day. The best excuse is the one you don't use. Let's talk about it, all right? Here's something to think about. The days you don't want to go to the gym are the days you need it the most. That's when showing up makes the biggest difference. And again, I think I mentioned it yesterday. You're never going to regret getting a great workout in. You're not going to be mad that you went, all right? So here's why. You build discipline. You boost your mood. It sets you up for a better day. You achieve small wins that add up. Success is built on these small, consistent efforts. So no, you didn't lose 10 pounds in the first week. Those 10 pounds, whenever you lose them, it might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be 3 months. But those 10 pounds come from you stacking up great habits, you pushing through the difficult days, you pushing through the days you don't feel like it. All right. And the hardest part is just getting started. Once you're in motion, momentum takes over. So here's a challenge for you. If you're not feeling up for a workout today, do it anyway. Still show up. Got to show up. Nothing gets done if you don't show up. Then come back here and tell me if you regret it. That's the fit tip for the day.
Yeah, I invite you to come back and tell Marty you regret it. Yeah, to his face. I want you to walk up to Marty, put that tank on.
Nope.
And I want you to flex in front of him. And then I want you to say, Marty, you're full of Royal Restrooms poo. I did not want to work out in the morning because I don't feel better.
Nope.
No, we're not hearing that.
Wrapping up the show, Mornings in the Lab, Keith Bilous, C Marty Fit, and all of our friends from around the world. Lotus Flower, I appreciate you joining us here this morning. Enzo from the future joining us here this morning as well. If you are regular guests on our show, you get to have regular sound effects. I know we got to get some sound effects made for Lotus Flower, for Servina, for Michael Hoodlow. This Marty, we're just going to hold the budget for the Stream Deck to have sound effects for all of our guests.
That'll be a lot of guests. That'll be a lot of guests. We got a lot of people coming in and out the show.
Man, what a wonderful show today we've had. It's been a great conversation. It's been a big show. We've had a lot of people tune in this morning. It might be one of our biggest shows to date. We've had an exceptional show. Uncle Keith's going to be in a good mood today because we had a big audience. And listen, if you're in business, you know you watch numbers like I do. And I know if you're in business, you're watching your numbers and you're thinking, oh, my numbers today aren't very good. I'm going to be in a bad mood. But when your numbers are great, you're in a great mood. So, Nation, I love the fact that you all tuned in today. You joined our conversation with myself, Marty Fit. We talked about the fear of starting a business and what that fear is like. And if you fail or if you have success. And Marty, what a great conversation with David today.
Absolutely, man. He's a beast.
I know.
He's a beast, man. Definitely got to get him back in here.
And he's funny, man. He's just a funny dude.
Yo, when he first came in and he's like, yeah, there's a couple comments I wanted to make from you guys talking. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good show.
Absolutely. Yeah. When we met a few months ago on Live in the Lab, I like his business fascinates me, man. And the way it started, and he says, yeah, I was in a restroom with my daughter and I couldn't get over how bad the experience was. So he's like, I started a company because I didn't want to get peed on by my daughter. And he didn't start a chocolate bar business. He starts a restroom business, Marty, that nobody wants to, pardon the pun, touch.
Yeah, and it probably was wide open, like that industry.
Yes.
Who thinks of that? Competition was probably low, and the people who make the porta potties, they probably just like, here, take it. They don't put much thought into it. Yes. So he's actually a genius for that. I definitely respect that.
Well, you know what he's genius about too, Marty, is I had a guest on the show a number of months back, Travis Rossback. Travis invented the hydro flask. You know, the hydro flask that people drink water out of, right? So,
oh yeah,
right. And he said something to me that really equates to what David Sauer said a few moments ago. So when Travis created the hydro flask, Marty, he put hours and hours and hours into testing the products around what it felt like to put your lips to the hydro flask. He's like, that's a very intimate, personal experience when you put your mouth on something. Sauer did the same thing. Imagine going to a royal restroom and getting great toilet paper. And I'm serious because we overthink that when we use the restrooms. But he's like, no, you're going to come to a royal restroom. It's going to be air conditioned. There's going to be Wi-Fi. And I'm going to give you a great piece of toilet paper and a great experience. And I know there's laughter around that, but it's serious, man.
Yeah. No, that's and I mean the amount of money people are putting up for I guess to rent them and ship them, it's worth it. You know, the numbers he put out, they were some big numbers, but it makes sense.
But then you as a human can feel like you go to that event and you walk into a restroom and you're like, wow, man. You're like, Keith, it was cool in there. You know, I was able to use my phone. I had some nice toilet paper. You're like, wow. Then what I'm expecting happens, Marty, is you go to the next event, you look for that same restroom, right?
Exactly.
It sets the bar.
And if you don't have that restroom, you're going to know. You're going to remember that experience, that great experience, and appreciate it.
Yes. For me as a business owner, and I know you as a business owner, because I know all about the detail. That's why I have a ton of respect about the details. David's comment though with the toilet paper is all about the details, right? Because he could have chosen any kind of toilet paper ever, but when you walk out of that royal restroom after having that nice piece of toilet paper on your skin, you're remembering that innocuous little piece of detail that nobody's thinking about who you are, and you're going, I enjoyed that.
Exactly.
The lesson being that think about the details. So, Marty, we're wrapping up the time together, man. You're going back to Maryland today. We're going to resume our show tomorrow from remote locations. And then Friday, we got John Anderson joining us, the world's biggest man, wrestler, strongman, talking about forming awesome habits every single day. But, Marty, I've had a couple days with you, pal.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time up here, man. So looking forward to coming back. Definitely.
Yes, we're going to have you back, and we're going to take you to parts of Winnipeg where we can find some more color for you.
Hey, good luck. We
like to have fun with C. Marty Fit and all of our friends here in the lab. And as you know, Nation, we do this show every single day, Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Why? To help you get out of bed, to help you get your day started, to help you, check off those accountability check marks throughout the day. Maybe, Marty, to help somebody change a bad habit into a positive habit. Maybe for help somebody go, I don't know if I should get going. And you're hearing Marty going, no, get going, man. Just put one foot in front of the other. And I want you to know this, Nation, there's not two other individuals that wake up every single day with one purpose in mind: to help you all be accountable. So if you're looking for the ultimate accountability partner, and you know what? It costs you nothing to hang out with Keith and C. Marty Fit. Costs you nothing. You come join us at 8 o'clock Eastern time, tune into YouTube, tune into us on LinkedIn, reset your snooze alarm and come hang out with us and get your day started. And I can assure you, we're going to change your life with our content, our conversations, and the kind of information we're going to help you move forward. So we're going to get out of here, Marty. Anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Hey, appreciate you having me up here, Keith.
I appreciate you, my brother.
And the show's still going to be fire from Maryland.
It's always going to be fire. We're only getting better, nation, and I hope you guys can see the continued changes in our show. I can see a bunch of you tuning in, and I really appreciate that. We're working hard for you guys. And like I said, there is not another show like this happening on the planet every single day right here on YouTube. The only accountability show that helps you move forward to hit those big, hairy, audacious goals. We're getting out of here, Marty. I'm going to turn some tunes up. We're going to walk out of the lab, and I'm going to go find the restroom. Let's get out of here.
This guy, man.